Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the first Art Friends class of 2025. Yay!
Yay!
Yay, we're so
Yay!
excited. It is such a joy and pleasure to be continuing this in the new year. It is so exciting. I know Hannah and I are super excited, and we love doing this with you. I have a brief announcement really quickly. At AnCan, we are always trying to figure out new ways that we can support you and help you. And we are debuting a new creating writing group, and that will be starting February 13th. And it'll be led by one of our moderators, Regina Gordon, and she is a published author. So, with this, our art class, we will have the writing class, and you don't have to have any writing experience, anything like that. Just come and stop on by. And for our very first class, we welcome you to come and see what it's about and offer your feedback of what we should do, what direction the class should go in, and everything like that. So that will be February 13th. It'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern, and it will always be on the second Thursdays in the Schmier Room. Also, if you have not completed our 2024 survey, please do that. We would really appreciate that. Any feedback you can give us to make us better, we would so appreciate that. And we are also still continuing our fundraiser. Any little bit helps, and we greatly appreciate that as well. Now, Hannah, I know we're in a new era.
Yes.
That's what I heard. That's the
Yeah.
rumor. So I think we're going to be doing something that's going to kind of be doing a little segue into what we're doing too with the
Yeah, I
creative
think
writing as
so.
well. So I think this is
Yeah.
perfect, and this is what's going to get us started for the new year. So as always, I love for you to tell me all about it. So let's do it.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Alexa. And yes, you are absolutely right. It is kind of like a new era, all right, for AnCan. We're doing a lot of new things, and so am I. Okay. I've been journaling more, and I find it very cathartic. Okay. And I a long time ago, okay, I've met somebody who did this all the time. Okay, they journal, okay, on a canvas or a piece of paper, and this person would then do art all over it. So whatever came to mind, okay. This person, like, she loved to do collages, she loved to do paintings and like combine the two. So I thought, okay, well, I feel like I'm kind of in my mindfulness era right now too. And I wanted to get more into writing just because, like I said, it's very good for getting my thoughts together. Um, that way, when I speak about my thoughts, I actually have the words for it too. And I can just kind of, like, while I'm actually in the writing process, just kind of like, I don't know, like throw it all on there, like word vomit on the page. Okay. So we are doing just that today. We're going to be combining our journaling plus right plus artwork today. Okay, so I guess that is kind of a good segue. um, Mindfulness, again, has a lot to do with it, just because, at least for me, whenever I do art, I like to be mindful of exactly what I'm doing. I have to be in the moment. I have to be here. um, I have to be with my art. And so that is what we're going to do today. But also there's another little twist today too, because you'll see a whole bunch of different textures, different types of colors. That's because I took old artwork and I cut those out. So I'm essentially giving these artworks new life, because I wasn't going to do anything with them. Like, these bits of artwork, they're just sitting there. So why not just transform them into something new, something different? So alongside that, okay, alongside my old artworks, I also have my little bits of my journaling. Okay, so as you can see, you can kind of see some words here, but it's kind of hard to make out what exactly it is. And this is actually going to be the very first step. Okay, we'll take a few minutes to write, and I want you guys to just spill it all out, whatever is on your mind. Typically, if I don't know what to write about, I'll just start with a question, like literally, okay, what is on my mind? I'll just go from there, okay? Afterwards, we can paint on top of it, okay? So we are going to use acrylic paints today. We're going to paint on top of it with acrylic paints. You may need, I don't know, maybe two coats of it. I don't know. This one was just one coat, okay? Because personally, I wanted some of my words to show through. You may not want that though, and that's okay. Okay, so you may need a couple of coats of whatever color acrylic paint you're going to use. Okay, and that's again, that's totally fine. You can have it completely covered up. The idea is to get those thoughts and emotions just out on paper because if you don't already make journaling a habit, it's just difficult to process some of these things, some of these emotions. So we're here to journal all of that on to a piece of paper, and it's not going to take very long. Okay, I'm probably going to give you guys maybe 15 minutes or so, and honestly, you're welcome to
That's a
start
long
writing.
time.
You think
15
so?
minutes.
It's a long time. I mean, we can see how it goes. Okay, we can see how it goes. I will also write alongside alongside with you guys. Okay. Um, so there's that step. Okay, the writing and then covering it up with the acrylic paint. And then after that, I want you guys to pick your old artworks if you have them. And I'll show you guys how to create or how to draw cloud shapes. Very simple cloud shapes, okay? Nothing fancy. And we'll start cutting those out little by little. Um, However, if you do not have any other artworks to cut up, I have other options for you, okay? So let me go ahead and I brought out a whole bunch of different things to show you. Um, ta-da! I made a little chart, okay? Make your clouds. If you do not have old artworks to cut up, maybe you have, I don't know, printed pieces of paper. So, I don't know, scrapbooking, something like that. Printed pieces of paper, maybe like magazines, maybe like something you actually print out um, from your printer. Um, if you don't want to do that or don't have that, make them out of watercolor. So if you have watercolors, we'll just do like a simple little colorscape. It's not going to take more than 5 minutes. Okay, should not take more than 5 minutes. So very simple watercolor colorscapes if you need that. Like I've been saying, at least 10 times, old artwork. So I took like an older, I don't know, something that we did in one of the other classes that I teach, the MS class.
Remember, I know that
Yes,
thing.
yes, cut out the birdie. Yes. So yes, I'm giving that birdie new life. Okay. And my favorite, okay, I love doing scrape paintings. All right. They're just so simple. If you don't have watercolors or any of these things, we're already using acrylic paints anyway. So you can do some scrape paintings. So if you have like a gift card, like you're welcome to use make sure there's nothing on it, okay? But you can use a gift card or you can use a palette knife if you happen to have a palette knife, and that's literally just scraping the paint on the paper to create a colorscape, and that's it, okay? So don't think too hard about the colors, just throw them on there. So those are your four choices for your clouds, okay? You absolutely don't have to do all of them, okay? That's a lot. You don't have to do that. Pick one or two, okay? Um, okay, so there's that aspect. And then we'll have plenty of time to just kind of arrange them, arrange your clouds. And then, of course, cut them out and glue them on, okay? Now, this background right here, you don't have to have a fancy background like this. And I'll show you. I made a few different versions. Where's my journal? I have like an actual art sketchbook journal. Here it is. Like I made one just yesterday. And I didn't want to like color the background. You can just like jump right into it. Okay, so you don't have to color the background if you don't want to. But if you do like that background, I will show you how to do that. Okay.
Are they, did you draw them or you pasted them?
These are all pasted. Yeah, all pasted. So it's thick. You can kind of see it. I had to like lay something flat on it to flatten it out. So yeah, that's what I did yesterday. That was a lot. Okay. Do you guys have questions? And I will repeat all of that. Okay. Like I know I just like threw all of this stuff at you. Okay, but I will repeat it all as we go along. Okay. I was going to say something. Oh yes, if you maybe don't feel like you can use scissors very well, maybe they're hard on your hands, maybe it's just hard to, grasp them, whatever your issue is with scissors. I will also teach you how to tear apart your pieces of paper, okay? And I had a nice little example earlier, but of course I lost it. Of course. But anyway, I'll show you how to tear it out after you draw the cloud shape, okay? So you don't have to worry about scissors if that's if you have a problem with it, okay? Other than that though, questions, comments, concerns.
I forgot it.
It's okay. It'll come to you. It'll come
Yeah.
to you right in the middle of everything. So you will also need, in addition to the piece of paper that you're going to actually make your piece of artwork on, you'll also need like something to do your journaling on. Okay. So for me, I'll probably do my journaling on here, just, do my word vomit there. And then I'll make my artwork on here. So this one I'll set aside. Okay. I'm going to make my artwork on here and I'll just set this aside. Hopefully I don't lose it.
Did you think, I have a question.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Did you think about the stuff that you cut out and said, I want to work with these things? Or
no, I
have
didn't.
only two. No?
Yeah, no, I I have like a whole folder that has a bunch of stuff that I know I'm not going to use later. And I mean, I saw the colors that I thought were pretty, but I didn't think ahead of time,
Okay.
after that. So if you have a ton of stuff, then just go with your gut feeling, okay? What colors stand out to you the most? What stands out to you right now in this moment? Let's go ahead and grab a pencil or a pen. All right. Journaling. Or you can start out with lyrics too. Like I think on the one I did yesterday, I did some lyrics. I started out with lyrics and then went off from there. I'm missing a few things. I forgot to tell you, of course, you need glue. Okay. You are going to need some water since we're going to use acrylic paint. So grab a little water. And then, of course, with that, grab a napkin. For the actual painting part, grab a brush. I recommend no matter if you're going to use acrylic, if you're going to use watercolor, grab one of the flat brushes. So any kind of like bigger flat brush. This one is 3/4 inch. Okay. No matter what you're using for your scraps. Okay. And we'll start on our scraps in a bit. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. Grab your watercolors or your acrylics if you have that. I think we can get started. Let's go and let's write. All right. Now I am going to write whatever comes to mind, right in front of you guys. And on this paper, when I'm done writing, that's when we'll start to paint on top of it. Okay. And again, we'll take like 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Okay. Hopefully, maybe it won't take you guys that long. So you guys will get to see what's on my mind. So I guess we could start the timer now. So you guys go ahead and write on your paper.
Hannah, do you want me to keep a timer?
Sure, yeah.
How many minutes are we doing again?
Let's try 10.
Okay, I will keep a
See how
timer. Nobody worry about the time. I will let you know.
Alexa, you're a lifesaver.
Of course, that's my job.
Thank you. Yeah, if y'all play some music on your own in the background if you need to. I will probably not talk so much because I don't want to disturb you guys. So it'll be kind of quiet for a bit.
Are we supposed to tell anybody what we wrote?
No, this is all you.
Okay.
Nope, we are covering it up. So go just have at it. Go crazy. I feel like I have to think about what I even did today.
Honey, you should mute so we don't even.
All right, time's up.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you, timekeeper. Keeper of time. Appreciate that. All right. So just kind of wrap up your thoughts. All right. Put it all down. Um, Next thing I want to teach you guys how to do is, and actually I want to get it going because we have to let it dry. Um, if you need any kind of extra paper, maybe you don't have any old artwork that you're gonna tear up. Now I'm going to teach you guys how to make those colorscapes. We're gonna make those colorscapes using watercolors and the acrylic paint scrape method. Okay, I want to make them now because I want to just kind of put them aside. Okay, um, I'll just I just want to kind of sit on this on your actual journaling page for a moment. That way you can kind of think about what colors to use at this point. Okay. So just kind of think about this. And it's not a huge deal for me. in this picture, I used white and teal because they're very cloud colors. They're very like whimsical cloud colors. So it was very easy for me to choose this color. But if you want another color, go for it. Okay. So I'm gonna set this aside. This next paper again. Mhm.
We're gonna paint over all of our words, right?
Yes, we
With
will.
whatever color you're
Mhm.
saying,
Mhm.
do the teal or what have you.
Yes, yes, you are correct.
Okay, just so I know.
Yeah, we'll cover that all completely. This paper right here is for those of you guys who need those extra cloud papers, okay? So you can use your acrylic paints or your watercolors. I'll go ahead and teach you both methods on the same page. So let's start with the acrylic paint scrape method, all right? Choose, I don't know, three colors. Three colors, maybe that's your minimum. And I would I would recommend adding a little bit of white paint in there, no matter what color you choose, because white paint will go a long way. It'll cover everything, and it's a very cloudy color. So I'm choosing white and blue, and you know what? Let's throw in that teal in there. So I'm going to go ahead and divide my piece of paper. You don't have to do this, okay? But I just want to do this because I want you guys to be clear what the sections are. But you don't have to make a line in between. So for this acrylic paint scrape method, I have my chosen three colors. I have my gift card that I'm going to use to scrape the paint on top of. If you do not have a gift card or something, you can use like what is this again? I'm losing my words. Palette knife. You can use a palette knife to scrape it as well, or a cardboard if you have a cardboard. Anything that's just kind of stiff. I am not going to make anything complicated. I don't need a palette. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of paint. Da-da-da. I don't know, somewhere, anywhere. Sprinkle some paint. And I'll probably sprinkle a little bit more. There's a reason I'm calling this a colorscape. It's because it's a landscape of colors. It's not anything specific. And of course, my paint is clogged. I need to not use this one. I have to grab another peel if I can find it. Sorry, guys. Go, I found one. Brand new packaging. Of course, that means I have to figure out how to open it. You guys have that problem too.
Where do you get your paints?
Hmm?
Where do you purchase your paints?
I got this from Walmart, like this
Right.
brand.
Yeah,
Yeah, Walmart.
I like that color.
Yeah, I love this one.
Get that
I mean,
color.
you guys know I love this one. Yeah, I sometimes I do get them from Michael's, like when they have their big sale. Technical difficulties, guys. I'm trying. Might
Are our
just
gonna be all different sizes and shapes, or is it like one pattern that's gonna be cut?
it's just one pattern. Yeah.
Okay.
hmm Yeah, and I just sort of and I'll show you when I draw it, but I just sort of like draw it freehand, but you're welcome to repeat the pattern though. I'll show you how in a little bit. I wanted to use teal, but I can't get it to come out. Okay, I'm resorting to that color. All right, third color. All right, now that that's out, take your scraping tool of choice and scrape it along.
I like that method.
Me too. It's just satisfying. And notice how I'm not really going off the edge because I don't want to make too much of a mess. You don't need a whole lot. You don't need too much of this. Now, if you are only doing the scrape method, like you're not doing watercolors, for example, then yes, absolutely, you can go over the entire page. If you're like me, you might have some excess, like you might have some extra here, so you can just, this is why we want napkins. We want to scrape it off. Scrape it away. And honestly, really at any time, you can add another color to that. So let me go crazy and add pink. Cute little pink that I never get to use. If it's wet, it will mix in. And that's okay, because that is a lovely bit of texture.
Very Arizona. Very Arizona.
Ooh, I still need to visit Arizona. And there again, the excess bit of paint that's just kind of built up. We can just scrape it off. It's really pretty. I did go over my line a little bit, but that's okay. It's so pretty. I love this color combination. Okay, so that was method number 1 for your extra clouds. Method 2, okay, if you have watercolors, you are going to grab a brush, your watercolors. I recommend the flat brush that I mentioned earlier. Open. Okay, so there's my watercolors. So in order to create a colorscape where the colors just kind of flow and you don't have to think about it, that's the goal. We don't want to have to think about what we're doing with these colors. We want the colors to work for us, okay? And the only way to get the colors to work for us is to add a lot of water and paint with the water first. So I'm just gonna wet my brush here and let's go ahead and just paint the surface. For me, I have to be careful because I have all this wet paint here, but I'm just gonna really make sure I get a good amount of paint on here. I'm sorry, make sure I have a good amount of water on here. Paint it all in. Be careful not to get the acrylic paint. It should look shiny, but there shouldn't be any water rolling off of it. Like it should look very shiny like this, but with no water, just no water dripping off. And then after that, you can take your wet paintbrush and just kind of choose your colors. I want bronze. And we do want to wet it a little bit, okay? So I'm just going to transfer some water from my cup or my brush to my chosen colors. Maybe I'll do this one. Bronze and more pink. And I don't know, maybe like blue. We'll go with the same theme that I'm doing with the acrylic paint. So crazy pink, the blue, and the bronze. All right. So it's still wet. I want to ensure that it's still pretty wet. And if it's not, add more water. Okay. If it's not wet, you can always add more. The idea is to let the water do the work for you. So I'll take my color and tap, 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 tap. See how the water just kind of spreads on its own? And that tapping ensures that I don't really have to think too hard about what the color's doing because I'm giving the color space to do what it's going to do. I'm giving the water the space to do what it's going to do. So tap, 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 tap. Let that water go. If you find that your brush strokes are too recognizable as brush strokes, you can always paint again with water. So you can just go back into your cup.
I see a squirrel.
You see a squirrel.
Look at that with a big bushy tail.
Oh, this guy, this is the head.
Yeah,
This is a squirrel.
little
Those
squirrel,
little squirrel hands.
his little belly.
I want to keep him. So over here, I see my brush strokes are very recognizable. So I'm just putting extra water on top. So I've got my patches of color. And again, we don't want to be able to think about this too much. I can grab my next color, and this is a really strong blue, so I'm gonna be careful. Some of that color is gonna mix in. Sorry, Mr. Squirrel. I'm trying to do outside. So tap, tap, tap. Don't want that water. I'm sorry, don't want those brush strokes to be too recognizable. So in a moment, I'll just kind of add some extra water on top. Grabbing the water from my cup. Tap, tap, tap water right on top. I love the way it's like mixing with the pink and making this really pretty purple. I have to say though, I don't think I talk about this too much, but this kind of technique that we're doing right here where we let the water do the work for us. This is actually the technique that one of the techniques that I turned to whenever I was first diagnosed with MS. And I was really struggling. I was really trying to figure out how to do art again while I was trying to figure out how to just exist again, like be a human again. Um, like I figured out that you don't really have to do too much work if you have the right amount of water. So if I can figure out how to guide the water, it's almost like I'm compromising with it in a way. I'm working with the water and then also working with my inability to guide it in the way that I'm used to. So anyway, it's a little bit of information there. A little bit more about me. Let's see. I also want to add some bronze. Just a bit, just enough to stand out. I do have to figure out where I'm going to let this painting dry. Okay, so y'all think about that too. We want to find a space for it to dry and not really like spill because this is a lot of water here. I might end up maybe like tapping it a little bit with a napkin. If this is you, if you feel like it's just too much and you're going to have an issue transporting it to a place to dry, then for you, you can just kind of take a small portion of your napkin and then just kind of tap a little extra off. It'll take away some of the painting, but at least it's not going to drip everywhere. So I'll just tap some of that extra water off. There. Now I think I can transport it. Still be good. So we want that to dry, okay? Oh, but actually, before I move it away, do you guys have questions or do you want me to repeat anything? Again, these are the colorscapes. These are the ones that we'll cut them out in a little bit, and those will be our extra clouds. I didn't really come in here like with an idea of what color scheme I was gonna do. I'm very much a go with your gut kind of girl. So this is what was in my gut, these colors. That's typically how I approach a lot of projects. I know that like I was taught in art school that you're not supposed to do that. That's what I do.
Wait, what are you not supposed to do?
You're supposed to approach a painting with at least an idea of something that you're going to do. That way you're not like fumbling on the painting. You're not like You have a clearer vision of what you're going to do. So that's why sketching comes in handy. That way you have those clearer visions of where to take your paintings.
Well, I
Uh,
draw it out on my canvas, otherwise I can't do it.
yeah, see, that's something I need to do too.
Say it again, what you're not supposed to do.
That's what I was taught in art school, okay? But that
Yeah.
doesn't mean I agree with it. Um, that you're supposed to kind of approach the canvas or approach your artwork with at least an idea of what you're going to do, what you're going to tackle. So maybe that's the idea that you're going to work with, or maybe that's like the colors you're going to use. That way you have at least some sort of beginning, some sort of like start of your
But that
painting.
makes sense. You don't have to stay with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't have to stay with it. Yeah, art school was hard. I didn't always agree with what I was being taught.
Well, now
So
you know you want to be creative and they're telling you what to do.
that's kind of what that's a whole nother story, but that's kind of what uh I don't know, what made me fumble, I guess, a little bit after I graduated. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Um, so really at any point, okay, even if you're still working on your colorscapes, you can start to paint your actual journal entry now, okay? And I do recommend using acrylic paints for this part. So I'm going to go ahead and put these watercolors away. Oops, this came apart. So I do recommend using a lot of white paint, or at least some sort of color that is lighter, because it's most likely it's going to have white in it. So some combination of white with some other colors too. Um, as you can see in this picture, I chose to only use the teal and the white just because I was trying to keep things simple. Okay, so you can still stick with that. As long as it has white, you're good. So maybe instead of teal, I'll use green. Let's have some green clouds. It's kind of different. And again, we're also going to make another colorscape on top of it, okay? And we may actually need to go over it twice, okay? At least twice, with more paint on top, because these words are probably going to pop through, okay? And you may not want that to happen. You may want to completely cover it with the paint. So it may take a few different coats. So again, I don't need a palette. I can just dive right into it. Goodbye, words. Now, if you really like the scrape painting method, you can actually use a scrape painting method on this as well. I mean, because we just used a gift card. I hadn't thought about that whenever I did the original, but I'm thinking about it now. But because I did it, I used the paintbrush with the original, so I'll just stick with that. It's an option. Okay, so just throwing the paint around. I'm gonna move this so I don't get anything on it. See, look at me making messes. Okay. I don't know. I like to just kind of like swirl it like this. You don't have to do it this way, but I feel like it's so fun and it's just really satisfying when you put the brush down, kind of like it's kind of standing up like this, and I'm squishing it down. See that? Squish and squish and squish. And that way I can see a whole lot of that texture. Now, you don't have to do it that way, but it's just fun to see it. Squish, squish, squish. Got a lot of paint, so if it's not squishing a whole lot, then maybe add some more paint on top. So squishing it around. And already you can kind of see the words just popping through, because that's just how the ink works. So I can already tell I'm going to need at least a second coat here. Somehow I'm getting brown leaking out. I guess I didn't clean this one good enough. So anyway, I love just kind of squishing it, moving the brush around, admiring the little textures that it makes when I squish it around. Now, before we put the second coat, we just want to let it dry, okay? So you guys just work on this. We'll set it aside so it can dry. I like this green. I'm happy I chose that green. I don't get to use it very often. It's appearing a whole lot more lime green than it actually is. Like it's lighter in color. Like it's a little bit more of a pastel color. I guess the camera just makes it super bright, or the lighting. Probably gonna need another napkin because that one's pretty yucky. Now, once you've finished it, you can just kind of set it aside, okay? Let me see. I'm gonna need my other piece of paper, the one that I'm actually going to make the painting on or make the picture on. Now I know I'm using paper and I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier, but you can use a canvas to make your painting on. I should have mentioned this if I didn't before. I think I put it in the written supplies notes, but again, I don't remember if I mentioned it. Okay, so the next step right now um, is for those of you guys who want to have a colored background, and again, this is optional, you don't have to. It is another thing that you'll have to wait for it to dry. So that would be one reason to not do a colored background. But if you like how dark this looks, and if you like how much the clouds just kind of stand out, and maybe if you even like all the stars back here, then you can certainly color your background. Paint your background a darker color. But again, it is something that you'll have to wait for again to dry. So, that's why I'm making it optional. I mentioned, or I showed you guys earlier that other example in my sketchbook where, here it is, where I didn't color the background, and it was, I like it. I like it like that. It's just the color of the paper, cream color of the paper. So leave it as it is if you want to. So this step is, again, the optional one for those of you who want a dark background. Now I used a very, very dark purple. I think I mixed black and purple for this one. You can use black and blue. You can use black and teal. Just black, that's fine too. So here's my black paint. There's some purple. I don't think I use this specific purple, but it's a purple. So again, this is that optional step. I am going to just mix everything on the paper. I don't need to take that extra step and get like grab a palette or anything. You can just go straight into mixing everything right there on the paper. There we go. I haven't opened one. Okay. I know that it's a very strong color, so I'm not going to put quite as much black. Just squish it all around. And with this part, I should have mentioned it earlier, but just be careful, you know, if you're on a surface where you don't want it to get dirty, just watch out for that. Guess I'm just going to get my hands dirty. Definitely got to let this dry. I poured out quite a lot of paint, so I'm really wanting to smooth that out. Smooth it out, make sure all the lumps go away. As you can see, there's a ton left over, so I guess I could use this as like extra. You can just kind of like rinse your brush if you want to, but I may as well use it as a scrap piece of paper because I don't like wasting. So I'll probably end up using this somewhere down the line on another project and just cut it up somehow. I always like to use every little bit that I have, where possible at least. Let that dry somewhere else. Okay. You guys doing okay? Any questions? Concern? Hope that journaling part really helped.
I like it.
Yes, good. Good.
Very rare that I like it, right?
Right? Like, I know you're very hard on yourself, so I'm really glad you like it. So I don't know, in this waiting period, this period right here where we also want this to dry too, we can also go back to our journaling piece of paper and cover that up with some extra paint too. So second coat of paint. I know we keep jumping from thing to thing. So again, this is the second coat of paint on our journaling entry. This is for if you need to cover it up some more. If your words are showing through, mine definitely showing through. Definitely want extra paint on there. Make sure you clean out your brush very well. If you used a dark color like I did, might take a few different cleanings and maybe even another napkin or two. Yep. So, or extra water. Like if I had access to more water, I would go get it, but I don't want to leave. Shouldn't be too bad. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did before, okay? I put just little globs of white and then globs of my green and then do it all over again. I am going to target maybe specific spots that I think really need to be covered up. Like, I don't know, maybe this part right here. So target that with a little extra paint. paint on my arm. You see me only using two colors, but again, you can always throw in a third color if you want.
Hannah, I'm having a technical problem that will not be
Mhm.
resolved in this.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what is it?
Well, I didn't journal, and I was going to go in my gallery and cut out different pictures and lasso them or paste them in, and then Samsung's not even letting me. It only let me take one picture, and then it said sign
Oh no, that
in. So that, yeah, but I'm excited about the idea. Yeah, it wasn't even, and I even have pictures like of this class that I do. I'm just like going with the,
yeah.
you know.
Okay, good.
So yeah, and then I was like, oh, okay, then I could do the whiteout and just put like different pictures in there. So then that it just keeps locking me out. This is my new tablet. I don't have the old one,
Yeah.
so it keeps locking.
Oh,
So then I went to
man.
Canva because you had mentioned that once before,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was kind of the same thing. And it's saying, well, you got to sign in. And I'm trying to sign in. And it's like, well, we don't have an account for that. So, like, what to
Walking
do?
you
Because I
out.
don't have to
Yeah.
do this on PenUp. I don't have to do it on anything. Or I could even sign up for Canva. Like I usually
Yeah.
do digital art, so I'm okay. But yeah, so I'm not gonna finish it today. But what I
Okay.
like the idea because that's something, I want to pull in from my pictures and then lasso. And then also, like, I tried to lasso something and then it's just went copy. I never could figure out how to copy, but I could move it. So, what I could think about a program
Hmm.
I could use, but you,
Okay. Why am I hearing myself? What happened? Okay, is that better? Okay, good. Somehow,
It was you.
I don't know how that happened.
It's a spooky
Weird.
mystery.
Yeah.
I could
Okay.
hear you. I hope you're not embarrassed by what you said.
No.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
No,
I
I was
keep
getting
trying different
distracted.
things like note, and I'm like, okay, what if I do a note and I add it to a note? What if I add it to this? And I'm not getting
Um, so
operating.
the issue is that you're not able to actually work on the project and just sort of like put your pieces together, your lassoed pieces together.
Well, it let me import, I mean, like I can show you. I just like put in pictures. It's not that
Mm.
exciting, but oh, you can't see without the video. But it's more, I guess I have to just find a program that I can do something like that on. So, like I had some pictures, I cut the pictures out and then I moved them around because I've done that
Okay.
before where I cut something out and I moved it around, but it wouldn't
Yeah.
let me import other pictures. Then I thought, well, fine, I'll just do it in Note. I could do it in a note and then take a screenshot and then
Yeah.
like that. But that didn't
Yeah.
work either. Well, how about Canva? Will Canva let me do that?
And then you have to sign in. Yeah. Hmm.
Well, I
So
don't
yeah,
know. I mean,
I
eventually I
wish.
can sign in. I mean, I tried to just bite the bullet and sign in, and
Yeah.
with Samsung, and they like,
Man, yeah, that is a technical error. I don't
I,
know that I could help you because I can't think of any other programs you could use, but
I mean, I just want to stay in the zone with the idea and practice. So even if I just do something and import a different picture and put it, eventually I could figure out how to do it. But
yeah, just kind of
yeah,
keep playing around with it.
but can't does Canva let you import pictures?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you can. I'm pretty sure everything we're doing here, or just about everything we're doing here, you can do on Canva.
But
Um,
do you sign in? Like, do you have a special account?
I do. Yeah, you have to. They do make you register for it. So there's that. You've got to register for it. And I pay for the premium because some features like they won't allow you to use some features. So I do have the premium. So I don't really know like what's on the free version.
Not
Um,
importing.
no, you can do that with the free version, but maybe later I'll give you my login info. Don't tell anyone.
Well,
Hey,
it's,
but this is
it's more,
recorded.
I don't mind doing for
Don't
myself.
tell.
I don't mind because I've been working on layers. So it's like, okay, maybe I'll do it. But, you were like, PenUp's not the best program to have. I'm
Did
working,
I see?
but it's also misbehaving in other ways. It's like all of a sudden it's
Mhm.
on the screen. It's like, what are you doing? So, but I want to stay in the zone of at least the idea of,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So
rather
that's
than settle on I mean, I can even just take a bunch of little things, start a new one until I figure out how to import these things.
you might be able to do that. So I want to like turn our attention to the other, like the first things we started to paint. So again, this was if you needed extra color scapes, just in case you didn't have any old artwork to work from. Um, so it's pretty dry now. So, the watercolor maybe could use a little bit, but it's enough that I can cut it out now. So here's how you do it. Okay. This is the part where you can choose your printed pieces of paper or of course those old artworks that we're going to cut up today. So I'm going to look at my chosen pieces over here. Here's that tree again. May as well cut up the tree a little bit more. There's that tree. I also have this one that I'm excited to use. So it's an old scrape painting that I have. But just to show you what else you have available to you, I have like two or three different scrapbooking papers that I never get to use. So I'm so excited to pull it out now. This is such a pretty color or a pretty page. I'm going to use this. So take out your scrapbooking papers if you have them, your magazines. This is where we can cut out the clouds. Okay. First, I'll teach you how to draw them so that you can start cutting them out. Okay. Then I'll teach you how to trace them just in case you don't want to just freehand draw every single one. You do have to start somewhere though. Okay. You have to start with one picture. And then number 3, then I'll show you guys how to tear out your cloud shapes after you've drawn them. Okay, I'll show you how to tear them out, just in case you don't have scissors, okay, or you don't want to use the scissors. So I don't know, maybe I'll start with this one. I want a pen or a pencil. We're not going to be erasing anything. I really want you guys to just go for it. Just draw the cloud, okay? So I know I like this color in here, so I'm gonna take note of this, flip it over, and this is where I'm gonna draw my cloud, okay? I'm drawing in Sharpie because I want you guys to see it clearly, but you guys draw with whatever you've got, okay? So big, curvy lines, and I'm specifically doing big curvy lines because they're easier to cut. Okay, if you have those like smaller curves, those are going to be a little bit more difficult to maneuver. So I like to keep them big, big and bold. Big, bold curves. So I'll give you guys a moment or two. I'm so excited to see what everybody comes up with. Ooh, Kim, I see a little bit of, there's something behind your paper. I love that.
Hannah, are you drawing on the back of a printed piece of paper or are you drawing?
Ooh, this is the back of
Okay.
it's one of my scrape painting
Okay.
things that I've had it for a while now.
Does it matter if we draw with marker or pencil? Because we're gonna just cut it out anyway, right?
Yeah, you'll cut it out anyway, so it doesn't matter. Just it doesn't really matter which side you draw on, except I feel like you have to be a little bit more careful about cutting out the line if you draw on the surface that's going to show. So say I were to draw the cloud here, I'd have to be a little more careful about how I cut it and just making sure that I get all the lines away.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind, it's just keep
How
that
many
in mind.
clouds? How many clouds are we going to be making?
Well, that's not something I can really say. I don't know how many. I could count how many I have here. Let's try two of each first. Okay. Two of what you've got, and then we'll go from there. So I feel like it's pretty explanatory, just cut it out if you're using scissors, okay? Um, however, say maybe you just don't want to continually cut out like the same or different shapes every single time. So you'll want to start somewhere if you want to have a cloud to trace. So if you wanted to, you could cut out your first cloud. And then once I'm done cutting this out, I'll use this to trace the others. Now, this is just an option. If you want to just quickly freehand the rest of them, you certainly can. Let's see, so I could theoretically use this to trace the other ones. That way I can have some identical clouds. See that? So that's one option, but something you have to keep in mind is that you might accidentally move it, like I did just now. So in some ways, and sometimes I feel like it is better to just freehand it. Okay, so that is the tracing method, okay? If you want to tear it out, so say you don't want to use scissors, so you still want to make the lines, okay? You still want to have that cloud shape, but it's really just to be like a general guideline because you'll start to tear it and then use your fingers to kind of guide yourself around those lines. And again, it's just going to be a guide. It's definitely not going to, you're definitely not going to follow along perfectly. I can use my fingers to guide my, I was going to say brush strokes, they're not brush strokes.
Hannah?
Uh-huh.
I folded my paper into like four so that, and then cut out one shape, and then you'll get four different shapes out of the one.
Well, that's smart.
Fold your paper.
That's a really good idea. Like you get four clouds out of the one time
Right.
cutting. Oh, that's smart.
Since I have different, like it's old artwork, I have different
Yeah.
on that piece, even though it won't be the same.
I love that. Yeah, y'all take note of that if you if you want to like streamline the process. Don't forget that we also have the other ones to cut out too, okay? So my journaling paper, it's still drying, okay? So I'll probably want to put that underneath the fan over here, or maybe just fan it myself. Okay, we want that to dry so that we can cut it out. And then I also have my other scrap piece of paper. So anyway, we're just cutting out anything we can cut out right now while we wait for the journaling part to dry completely. So take a look at my cloud that I tore out. It's a more rugged look, but it's still a cloudy look. So it makes sense. Marcy, I love your idea of folding your paper. I'm gonna do that.
That is so smart.
I know. I'm gonna do that with the printed out paper because it's thinner. I feel like I'd have an easier time because it's thinner. So you folded it 2 times, right?
Well, it depends on how big your paper is. Yeah, because
Oh, okay.
it's a bit bigger, like a full sheet. Like you would print out a letter.
Okay, yeah.
So you
Yeah,
would.
this was a full sheet, so I think that works.
I'm glad I took a
So,
picture of that painting that you're cutting up.
oh, this one? This one? Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I did really like the element of the lines, so. But yeah, Marcy, I love this idea. I can just draw interesting cloud shapes, big bubbles. and then cut that out, and then voila, I have 4 clouds.
I love that project that you have on your demo with the squares and the circles and the things in that's
Oh yeah.
because I struggled with that terribly because I couldn't make squares. I mean, I didn't realize that the program would do that for me. And it was
Yeah.
all with an unsteady hand. And I remember Brandy said, "Oh, I like it that it's that way." And that's the first time, that I could really
Yeah.
embrace the imperfection.
So that was kind of a pivotal picture for you then.
Yeah, yeah, because when I saw
I
you,
think
I
I
was so
remember
excited. I'm
that.
like, I want to do that. I want to import that one. That one.
I think I remember that too. Yeah. And it was a while ago, but yeah, I remember you struggling with it and then coming to that realization. I remember that now.
Because when I see, your lines and your squiggles and all that, it's like, well, they don't look better than mine. It was just my perfect
Just
squares and
bigger.
my perfect shapes were not perfect.
They weren't perfect. Yeah. See, that's what I feel like I have. MS is kind of like a weird thing to be thankful for, at least for myself, because that, I don't know, perfectionism in that way, that's how I did my art, and that's how I would always, get after myself, I guess, or like put myself down, for not being perfect or near perfect in the things that I was doing.
Or at least that it doesn't look like what you thought it should look like.
Yeah, that's it too. Like that was just kind of how I ran my life, I guess, and the thoughts in my head. And, with MS, there's no way that you can do things perfectly in the way that you used to. So you have to pivot. If you're gonna stay sane, you have to pivot.
So you
And
understand how I feel when I do the artwork. It's
yeah,
exactly how I feel.
uh-huh. Like you're having to pivot and figure out how to make it yours.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Because I'm used
I
to.
just added a bunch of pictures, just like you're saying, like intuitively. What do they have to do with anything? Well, they're mine. So,
Mhm.
and
Yours.
now I put it in a note program. I don't know if it'll let me do it, but I'm glad I'm staying with it anyway, instead of going, oh, I hate it. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, I am glad you're
And
working
I,
through
and I
it.
just picked two, for example, that had that thing in it. I mean, I haven't done that yet, but I just picked two that have that thing in it, and then look, and because I'm especially going to like earlier ones that had that thing, and then I got
Yeah,
this, and those two colors work together.
they do actually.
So yeah, I mean,
Your outlines.
I'm not editing, well, I should do this. Why pick that one? It's don't worry about it, 'cause you
Mhm.
can always delete what you don't want.
That's
But
true. But you're going with your gut feeling too, based off of
yeah, and
how
I'm
you're
still want
how
to
you're
do the
processing it
I still
now.
want to do the project
Um,
with the
yeah.
art doula.
I got your email. You make me laugh every time.
Like Hannah, I decided Hannah's an art doula.
Yeah, she's
She's not just an instructor, she's not just a facilitator, but she's a doula,
but
right? And she midwives our projects.
it's so funny. I was just okay, I listen to podcasts, okay, all the time, and I love listening to Reddit stories. And there was one Reddit story that I was listening to that had something to do with a doula. And so like I was driving at the time, and so my thoughts just kept on wandering. How does one become a doula? What exactly do doulas do? This was just literally 2 or 3 days ago, Karen, and then
Well,
you
you're an
bring this
art
up.
doula because I Googled it, after, I mean, it just came out of my head like journal. I was like, I don't have the
Yeah.
technical part. I'm journaling all the time. And then it came to my head that you're an art doula, especially because you'll say, I'm not an art therapist. Who cares what you're not? You know,
I know.
who cares what you're not? It's
See,
just that. And then I brought it to the attention of my dance, my movement, because it's not really a dance thing, it's a movement music thing. And she
mm,
loved that idea. Because with her, I was like, what you do is medicinal music. Take this.
Oh.
And then she, with her thing, and it's a movement thing, but the art
Hmm.
doula. So there's a couple. It's what we do here, because I looked up one or two Google things, and they said what we do is we create art together. We support one another, and we create art together.
Oh, I love that. But I like the way you worded that though. Using the word medicinal.
Oh, medicinal music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, medicinal music. I think of something like that for art. Can't say artistic art. I'm hoping my dark background is dried by now. If you skip that step and you don't have a dark background, then you can just kind of start arranging your clouds however you want, okay? You can start arranging them. Got some paint on this. My background is not dry yet. It's getting there. It's pretty close. Let's see. My journaling entry still needs a good amount of work. I think I'm gonna speed it along by maybe smoothing out some of these lumps here. So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and take my brush. I have my clean brush, and I'm just gonna smooth out some of these lumps. Because that's really what's keeping it from drying. There we go. I want them to not be so lumpy. I'd buy lumps. There we go. Yeah, I feel like there's some areas I can work with. Like I can definitely work with this here. Honestly, probably make this into a cloud too. So yeah, I can work with some parts here. I definitely want at least some of the lines to show through because I just feel like that's just a pretty aesthetic. There. Even though that's still pretty wet, I think I can still cut through it. Now I did draw on top of the surface that's going to show. So I'm just gonna have to be extra careful to try not to get the lines in there, but if they do show, then that's still okay. It's a nice little extra aesthetic, extra detail. How do you guys feel about having like another open art class where we can just get together and do any kind of art and just hang out? Like I'm not teaching, but we'll do art together and we'll chat.
That's nice.
Yeah. I know we've done that once before, and Alexa and I mentioned or talked about maybe bringing it back.
Yep, we did.
So, we can revisit that idea.
Funny because that's with that concept of the art doula. It's like just get together and make art and support one another. Competition. We're not.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're still not in competition, but but yes. Got a funky looking cloud shape. And again, you can just in in your downtime, when you're waiting for things to dry, you can start to arrange what you have. So that might be all I'm going to use from this, honestly. Maybe. Like, I like that some of the writing is showing up and some is not. Let's see. I think this is my surface, and I think it's dry enough. Enough. Sometimes I forget that acrylic paint actually acts like glue. Like if you're out of glue, like you don't have any more glue, you can use acrylic paint as your glue. So throwing that out there too. So maybe I'll take that. I definitely like these guys. And then of course I have my old artwork here. There needs to be something in between these two. And you can have some of your clouds kind of staggered too, because in the original, let me show you the original again. I have a bunch of clouds layered with just a tiny little bit of the background showing through. But you don't need to do that. You can kind of stagger them too. Here's this guy right here. You can even I had a lot of fun with this where I take some of the not overlapping, some of these areas and just kind of fit them together so that they overlap in a really interesting way. Here we go. This one. I really wanted to use this one. And then, of course, I have my little torn out piece. Did I not do a second torn out piece? I definitely need to do a second one.
I think my clouds are too busy, so you can't see the individuality of them.
What can we do in that case? Are you using very similar colors?
Not really colors, you'll see. It's just,
okay.
how you might say, too busy. I like the way yours is coming out.
And I do have a lot of different colors to work with too. And plus, I do save a lot of my artwork for use later.
I have too many prints is what it is right now.
Oh, I gotcha.
You know?
Yeah, I gotcha. I know what you mean now.
Yeah. And I think that's about it because I want to do the background.
Definitely want some of this bronze in there. Ooh, this one might be my favorite cloud. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite one. Maybe I can put this. How can I separate that? Oops, I guess that piece is stuck. I guess it's staying there. Definitely want that one on top. A little something I forgot to mention earlier about something that you can do just to kind of keep everything in place while you are, I guess, arranging the clouds. If you happen to have some extra tape, so it doesn't matter if it's like Scotch tape or masking tape. If you have a little extra tape, you can kind of use some of that tape behind your clouds, and it'll just kind of hold it in place for you. So let's see some of this. I did have some Scotch tape around here, but I guess it's buried under all these papers somewhere. So it's just a little option, just in case you want to make your life a little easier and have things just kind of stay in place while you arrange other things. Like, I know I want this to stay there. Once I'm finished and I'm ready, I will take my glue and just sort of I'll lift it. I'll just lift it up and put the glue around it. Just kind of make my life a little bit easier that way. See, I do think I want this to show up a little bit more. I do want this torn cloud to be more prominent. You know, I have all these options, but I think I'm changing my mind. I actually want a little bit more staggering. Like I'm starting to wonder if maybe less is more. I don't know. Let me see. I think my journal paper, I think this might be finally dry enough that I can get this area, which has more writing showing up. Like I just like the aesthetic, like the way the writing looks on the paper, but you can't really make anything out.
I solved that problem.
Oh yeah.
You're busy and you can't really see individually. I've solved that, you'll see.
Oh yay. Exciting. Let's see. I know I want more of this, but I think I want to tear it out. I need another like tear image. So again, for the tear out method, I want to first draw it out on the back side, and then I can tear around it using my fingers to guide. Of course, it's starting to look like a circle, not a cloud, but I'll get there. There we go, getting there. Just a guide. I feel like it needs a bit more fluff. So I'm gonna maybe tear this out. Getting there. I wanted to make a little plug about our next Solo Arts Heal performance.
Hang on, Hannah. I have to talk to you about that.
Okay, all right. That's okay. Maybe later though. Okay, I think maybe I'll take this one away. Okay, I want some of this to be hanging off of the page. That way later I can cut it. I can just like slice off the end here. Okay. Is it just me, or does this piece kind of look like Australia? A little bit, the same things.
I kind of get it.
Australia. I'm gonna leave that one by itself right there.
I see it. We just need Tasmania.
See,
Would you
I
make a
wish
little Tasmania and put it in there?
I don't know what Tasmania looks like though.
It's kind of like a little triangle thing, like a little triangle island.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Like, I don't know. Can I make it out of one of these maybe? Tasmania. See, it's a triangle. I don't think I've ever paid attention to the shape of Tasmania.
Okay.
Oh, this is so frustrating. I'm still in the zone and I saved I saved my pictures. Where are they?
Oh
They went
no,
away.
it went away.
Yeah, it even has a name and it said, "You want to save it?" I'm like, "Yeah." And there's nothing on it.
Hmm. Have you been having other issues with the new tablet?
Well, it's new, so I have to learn new things.
Oh, yeah, okay. That makes
Things
sense.
behave differently, but I mean, something like a note, make a note, and I add pictures to the note, and I've got 6 pages of pictures, and I save it, and it has a name, and it's gone.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it doesn't seem like that should
There's
be the
nothing in there.
case.
I thought, like, at least I'm committed to saving my whatever I wanted to say, even if I
Mm-hmm.
can't finish it. It
And
was
you,
so cute. My God, you would have loved it. It was like
oh,
just a selection of different pictures, and they wound up throwing two on a page, and they each one matched, in its own way. And I thought, okay, when I learn how to do it, I can put it on.
hmm. Now keep in mind that as you're gluing them on, you may or may not need like something to flatten them out. So, I mean, I just grab anything that's available. So, if I need to use my paint bottles, then that's okay. That's what I need to do. Flatten it out. That way it won't come, like the ends won't come off too much. Let's put Australia right here. Now, is Tasmania supposed, like, where is Tasmania? Is it
It's below.
below
And
down
turn
here?
it around. That is a big Tasmania. Okay, little bit up.
Flip it up like that?
Right there. Yes, that's Tasmania. Tasmania has grown, but in Hannah's universe, Tasmania is huge.
I mean, yeah, they have a lot of Tasmanian devils
Tasmania
alive.
has grown up.
Yes. All thanks to the Tasmanian devils that are now back.
I used to have a little fluffy terrier mix, mutt, but she looked like a designer dog. I'd say she was the Tasmanian Terrier.
Aw, she's cute. I went to the park today for a little bit of hiking, and I was sitting down, and all of a sudden, we see two dogs just kind of like running towards something. They look like maybe, I don't know, maybe we didn't see, I was with a friend and maybe we didn't see like the dog's owner like run past us, but these dogs looked like they were on a mission. And so you mentioning your doggy made me think of those two dogs on a mission that I saw earlier today. Like one of them just kind of like stopped to look at us and then just trotted on his way. Super cute. There we go. And I might add a little bit more, like maybe one or two other clouds just to break this up. But for the most part, I think I've mostly got them all in order. Yeah, I think I need to add a bit more glue to this one and probably put something on top of it just to flatten it out. Maybe this. There. Just flattening it out. Now I do want to show you guys just how to do the rest of the background, just like the stars, just in case you want to give it that extra flair. Like in case you painted the background like I did. So just in case you want to do that, you'll want a tiny brush. So whatever you've got that's the smallest, you probably will want like a palette or like something to put a little bit of the paint on top of, some kind of palette. And so I'll show you how to do the stars, like the actual stars, but then also the dots. The dots are super easy. You literally just turn your paintbrush around on the other side and dot. So very easy. Where's my gold? There's my gold. There. Also, where's my palette? Oh well, can't find the palette. I'm just gonna use this lid. Don't need a lot anyway. It's literally just a lid. I can just wipe it off later. Okay. So for the stars, so I have a cross shape and then an X shape. So here, right here. This one. Hopefully you can see it well enough. It's right over here, down here. So start in the middle and then make a line. Cross it over like that. And then you make an X. I'm trying to press down as lightly as possible. It may not be possible with some lines, but that's all right. And then you pick one or two lines and make them longer. That way they just kind of stand out. And that's it. So let me show you a few more spots. So I have gold, but white. You can use white as well. I feel like blue would probably look good too if you want to use blue. I can do one here. So make a line, cross over, make an X in between, and then pick one or two lines to elongate those. So like this one and this one. Or three if that doesn't look right. Yeah. So that's the star method. And then there's also the dots. So literally just turn over your brush, dip it into your paint, and start to dot. It's a great way to fill in a lot of extra space with very little work. Just dot. Make your life easier. Make a bunch of dots. And that should be the last step, okay? The stars, if you want to incorporate that, that should be the last step. But if you're not doing that, then you can just leave it as is once you finish gluing it down. Now, I do remember though, I do want to show you that journal, or that, I keep saying journal, sketchbook again. Because with the other version, I had outlined a whole bunch of these clouds. It's an option. If you really want to outline them, you certainly can. So make some little curly cues using your white paint, or gold paint would look really nice too. But it's just an option. I just want to show you guys that. Does anyone want to share? Anyone like to share? Would love to see it. I'm really happy I use the green color in my clouds.
So where's your journal?
This is it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can see a little bit of the words peeking through.
Right, but when you look at it, you know.
Yeah. I know it's there. That's right.
Anna?
Yeah, Marcy, let's see. Oh, that's pretty. So okay, that's how you differentiated it. You outlined each of the sections.
I had to because everything blended so much together, too much pattern, too busy.
Too busy, but that was a great idea though. That is so pretty. I need to view this bigger. Yeah, that's such a good idea. So did you glue everything on first and then outline it?
Oh, yeah, because once I glued everything on, I was like, it's too busy. You can't really differentiate between the clouds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided to outline it so that you can see the different shapes,
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really worked. And did you use your like old coloring pages?
Yeah, I use old art,
Ah,
like I call it doodles, like
ah.
meditation. Like it's a good way to meditate, like just make doodles.
Yeah, so you made those doodles. Those are so cool.
Well, the white ones I didn't make though. You see the white ones?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, I just cut them out of something.
Still though, like the rest of them are still so cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, you should be proud of that one.
Came out
So good.
okay once I separated the clouds.
Yeah, it's a really good idea. I might want to do that too. Maybe if I'd added more.
Yeah, but you see your clouds, you can see the individual clouds.
Yeah.
You did it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours is so good, Marcy.
Thank you.
Yeah, does anyone else want to share? Does anyone else have questions? Anything you want to ask me? I forgot to ask my favorite question. Has anyone else done anything interesting or creative in the last week? Besides Monday's class for MSers.
I might be creative tomorrow. I'll decide tomorrow.
What?
My daughter wants to go somewhere and we just paint, so maybe I'll make something tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Like, is it one of those guided painting classes?
No, just like say go to the beach and look at the building and paint it.
Oh, I love
Or
it.
go to the library and look at the books and paint it. Whatever we decide to do.
That's so fun.
Yeah. We're just gonna do that.
Have you done that before with her?
Oh yeah, she did Hotel Del. I don't know if you know Hotel Del in San Diego and Coronado Beach.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so we sat there at the beach and it's a very famous hotel. It's on all the haunted places.
Okay, I thought that there was one that was haunted somewhere in San Diego.
Oh, you have a few. There's
Okay.
the Whitney House is haunted too. That one I took my kids when they were little and we got pictures of orbs and something like the Whaley House.
What was it called?
The Whaley House. It's been on show as well.
Okay. I'm sure I've seen it. I'm sure I've seen it because my when I was little, my dad used to watch I think it was History Channel that they showed all the ghost stuff. Either
Yeah,
History or Discovery, one of those. We'd always be watching something like that.
I love that. That's the History
Yeah.
Channel. They don't have that stuff anymore on it though, but it was good.
But they do on YouTube.
Yeah,
Scary
right.
stories all the time.
Love YouTube. Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. I love actually listening to like reincarnation stories too.
Uh, those are good ones.
Um, yeah, they are good. Because I don't think I've ever mentioned this. Okay, a little weird, but when I was little, I used to have like a recurring dream. I think it stopped maybe when I was 10. But it was always the same thing. Like I was in a car crash and I was a little girl named Alexis. And I remember like having an out of body experience after the crash. Um, and it was just me like floating above the wreckage. And but
Yeah.
I remember like seeing the town all around me, and I remember like talking to my parents and my brother. Yeah, it's just a weird thing.
I had a similar uh I was a little kid and for some reason the doctor adopted me. This is
Ooh.
past life. I never made it to adulthood though.
Aw.
I had curly hair like I have. Well, now I have sick hair, but I always grew up with very curly hair. I was at camp once and the counselor says, "Oh, I like your curly hair." So I said, "Well, you can have it." She says, "I don't want that much."
Oh.
Just to tell you how much I had.
I think curly hair is beautiful. I used to want curly hair because my mom and both my sisters have curlier hair than me. And I got my dad's like straight hair. So of course we all wanted each other's hair.
Thought I wanted straight hair until I got it. Then it's like so difficult because you got the it's like a curly hair, but it's straight now. It's not like people with straight hair, like, without all the frizz.
You can always buy curly hair. I used to do that. I mean, I had the curly hair for a long time, and I stopped, and I went to someone's house, and I walked in because I had like curly locks, and then I had a
Mm.
real short cut, and I walked in the house, and everybody who came in would go, "Oh my God, you're here!" And there was this blind woman there, and she goes, "What's the matter with her hair?"
Oh,
Like,
oh, oh. Where was this? Where was this, Karen? Where was this?
I mean, just like
Oh,
locally,
like in
I
oh,
mean,
okay,
yeah,
like in general,
I went to
yeah,
like an event that I go to, and so people just kept coming in the house, and anyone who came in went,
yeah.
"I'm so
Oh,
bummed. I want to import my pictures. I love the pictures
yeah.
that I chose, and they were kind of random.
Yeah, I know. So
And
you're
they were
still
random, but
dealing.
they worked. And there was only like one. I had like 6 or 7 pages, and there was one page I was like, okay, maybe not that one, but everything else just.
Um,
And I
excuse
thought,
me.
Hannah's gonna love it. But just, it's just all these different things. And
Yeah,
one day
technical
I will
stuff.
figure out how to do it, but I want to at least stay with the prep that I
Yeah, yeah. Well, did you at least take a screenshot of Marcy's
of
picture?
course. I don't have a screenshot of your original. Can I do that?
Yeah, I can find it. Here it is. There it is.
I'm adding black holes.
Black holes.
Holes in the.
Oh, okay. Are you like, how are you drawing them?
I'm just taking a marker and drawing like black on the background because the
All
background
right.
is like a dark blue and purple.
Okay, yeah.
Just doodling.
Anyone else want to share? I know that was a lot of steps, but you guys did a great job keeping up, though. Kim, can we spotlight Kim? Pretty please.
It's very busy.
Yes, but you outlined it. Such a good idea, too.
Well, yeah, like she was saying, you needed more distinction. So.
Yeah, so that was a really good idea, Marcy. And I'm
Well,
really glad.
white outline, that would have been better.
No, I feel like it just worked for both of you guys. Like there's so many like blocks of color in Kim's piece that I feel like white just kind of works a little bit
Works
better. Yeah, it works really good with it. And that artwork, I love.
And I like her stars behind.
Uh-huh.
Stars.
Yeah, I feel like the stars really they bring out the clouds. Like they really allow the clouds to shine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, looks really good. Thank you, Kim.
Thanks.
Love it. So cool, guys. I knew I was gonna love seeing these.
I'm gonna finish mine tomorrow. So
Yeah.
but it was fun, and
Okay.
I'll see you all next time. Have a good
Yeah.
night.
Good night. I'd love to see a picture later, okay? Good
I will
night.
once I finish it. I will definitely send one in.
Absolutely. Good night, Marianne.
Good night.
Marianne. So, Hannah, you see your picture showing there now, right?
Uh-huh.
It's very busy like mine. So when I saw that original, that's why I picked out these pieces of my old artwork, the busier ones, because of your original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because of all the designs you were
Right.
seeing. Yeah, I gotcha.
But I like yours without the line. You know, I like Marcy's with the lines. I like Kim's with the lines, but I like yours without the lines.
Without the lines.
Yeah.
It
just makes sense, especially with those that design with the squares and the squiggles and the.
I think it helps that the textures are so different, I think.
Yeah, but then it gives like a cohesiveness, so you don't need like, you know, your eyes going to the pinks, to the greens. You know, what did
Well, thank you. Well, thank you, because I did question my choices. So thank you. Because I will show you now that we're at the end, and I didn't want to scare you, okay, but I have the original, the very first one. But then I thought, I don't know. I think I went a little crazy with it. I kind of overdid it. There's so much going on.
Yeah, that
So, right. It would have been a little scary, right?
Lots of swirlies.
It scared me.
The twirliness you did on it, I love it.
That's just sort of taking that idea that you guys had and pushing it. So just running with it. So I didn't actually originally have the swirlies. I ended up adding the swirlies on there later. Because again, it felt like it needed something. So it was just a matter of working with it again and again and again, until I could no longer work on it because there's so much going on.
Hannah, that is so pretty.
Thank you.
Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you. Just an idea of how you can push it though. If you wanted to like add some swirlies, what I did was I took the existing lines, like say for example this one. There's no swirly here right now, but if I wanted to, I can envision a swirly just kind of curling nicely and then ending in here. So follow along with what you already have, and then you just exaggerate it that way. So here, this is a line that I followed along, follow along, and then curl it in because it makes sense to curl it in here. So you already have the building blocks. You're just taking it a step further. But yeah, I was not going to show you guys that in the beginning.
People aren't showing, then you really know that would have freaked them out.
Yeah, definitely.
What are you calling this one?
I think I
Swirlies. What do you?
Oh, the one with the swirlies? No.
I don't really get what you did with that.
I might call it Daydream.
But what did you? I don't really get. What did you do?
Well, it's the same process. I took different pieces of old artwork and cut them out like the cloud shapes. So it looks like it's all one piece, but it's actually a lot of different pieces because you can see some like different types of lines here. Like it's a little like less of a pattern back here. I think I'd cut up like an oil pastel picture, I think. I
Hannah,
only know. Mhm.
I'm gonna say something, and you're
Say
gonna
it.
know that it's me, okay?
Yay.
You're gonna know like this is an Alexa-ism, so you're gonna appreciate hope. This
Okay.
picture, and I mean this as a compliment. This picture looks like Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year, and Mardi Gras. If it just
Huh.
exploded
And Easter.
and Easter,
Yeah.
like
See, there's Easter in here too.
it's just like there, like it's just there, and I love it, and I feel all these feelings,
Hmm.
and I just
Interesting.
I'm amazed.
You know, that makes me think that maybe it should be titled something like not really daydream, but maybe something about living life, something
I
about
love
like
that.
nostalgia.
Celebrating life.
Yeah, celebrating life or like something to do with like reminiscing
I
maybe about
love
all of the
that.
holidays.
And then even with the stars, it's
Interesting.
kind of like Muslim, like
Daydreaming.
Islamic,
Yes.
Oh, interesting. You guys are seeing
This
all
is
of that from this?
I
non-denominational.
don't see the Hanukkah, sorry.
Well, to me, like
It's
the
me. It's
sparkles, sort of
me.
like the candlelight.
Yeah.
Oh, the candlelight. Huh.
That's how I saw it.
So interesting. So the Mardi Gras, I can see the Mardi Gras. I can see the Easter. I can't quite see Christmas except maybe the star,
Yeah.
like Christmas star. What
Celebrating dreams.
Hannah, it's a
celebrating
galaxy
dreams
exploded.
is what?
The galaxy exploded.
It just
Ooh, but like the artist's mind is the galaxy.
Yeah.
Huh. Getting deep here now.
The
Wow.
galaxy.
Huh. Man. See, this is why I like showing my artwork to you guys because you always have so much to say about it.
I'm inspired. This has touched me. I know that I'm taking this to a weird place, but like this is just
I
like
did not
everything all at once, and I love it.
and I did not
What you're
expect
wearing.
that.
And Alexa, look what you're wearing.
I
Yeah,
know it's very like
matchy.
appropriate.
Uh-huh. It matches. Your thoughts match.
Very simple, but yet very complex at the same time.
Yes.
See, we need like an AnCan trip to a gallery.
See, I'm for that,
Let's
and I think
go.
I'm just saying.
What about
Let's
an art
go.
cruise, you know? Even though I don't want to
Uh-huh.
go on the
I've been
cruise.
harassing Rick for years about having an actual AnCan conference with all the different groups, and we can meet separately and together.
Please.
And guess what? We've been having other people start the crusade as well now.
Really?
So and
Huh,
so people
okay.
are like, Kim did it first.
Oh, I said this years ago. I said we should get together and have an AnCan conference, and then
Yeah, if I had the means, I would love to do like an AnCan road trip too. Just like meet you guys where you're at across the country. I
I'll
have seriously thought about that.
I'll be in Austin, Texas, the middle of May, real briefly for my nephew's graduation. So that's
Ooh,
closer.
okay. Okay, maybe remind me. Maybe we can carve out some time. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I won't have any transportation because I'll be flying in, so
Yeah,
I won't
yeah.
have any wheels. But
So I'll come to you.
I don't know
Easy.
how far away is San Antonio from
Not
Austin?
far at all. Like on a good day, like not much traffic, an hour. On a
Oh,
regular
that's
on
way
a
closer than
regular
I
day,
thought.
That's
yeah, on a
Texas local for the record.
yeah. Yeah, that's Austin's pretty
art
local.
culture. Yeah.
So but on like a regular traffic day, but from 2 hours. But still, it's not bad. Yeah, still not a bad drive at all though. So it's feasible, certainly feasible.
That would be fun though.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Yeah, I would love to visit you guys. We need to have it happen and
Bring
can get
Alexa with
together.
you.
Yes, please.
Bring Louie.
Let's do it. Yes.
Oh my gosh. We need to do just a roundup.
I know. There's quite a lot of us actually.
Hannah, rent a van. Let's just get an AnCan van. We'll get like a big magnet.
That's one way to expense a part of it.
We'll
Yes.
get Brian to drive.
There you go.
Brian will drive. I
I don't mind
love to
driving.
volunteer him for things. So
Volunteer. I can tell.
Volunteer.
Volunteer. Yeah.
and voluntold, like
I do it too. I do all
you
the time.
know.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Side note, but
Let me
like
just look at the calendar real quick. I can tell you when I'm going to be down there.
oh, okay.
Okay.
Alexa, are you going to have? I noticed that women speaking freely are on holidays.
Yes. So we still have it on a schedule. Usually we tend to at AnCan keep stuff on holidays, except for the super major holidays.
Wait, so you do have it on the schedule?
We do have it on the schedule, yes.
Mm-hmm. The 20th, right? Is
yes,
that right?
it's still on the 20th.
What's it called?
Women Speaking Freely. And if you have not come, this is a great segue.
It's a fun group. It's a fun group.
We have a lot of fun, and it is exactly what the title suggests. We speak freely about anything. So
and it's not recorded.
It's not recorded at all.
Can you send like an email or something to me so that I could do that?
Absolutely. Yeah. So you can speak about if your latte spilled, you can talk about that, or you can talk about grief. I mean, anything that is bothering you or is on your mind that day, there's nothing too small, nothing too big. And we just talk. And I can honestly say, I think we all leave feeling better. So it's great.
Yeah, really.
How to work the AnCan website. I can't even find the art. So if you send me like an invite, like a email to register.
I can put you on a reminder list, and it will send you an email. But we are going to have our meeting on Monday, this Monday.
Okay. So after the art, oh wait, you don't have art class on Monday because it's a Martin Luther King.
Oh yeah, that's for the MS Focus art class. Yes, we don't have art class. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, Hannah.
Yeah, but Alexa, it's in the afternoon. Is that correct?
Yes.
The Women Speaking Freely.
Our Women Speaking Freely is in the afternoon.
Depends on where you live. It's early morning.
Depending on where you live.
That's
in the
right.
morning, it's like 10:30. If you're in Pacific time, I think we're 10:30.
Yes.
That's okay. Yeah. Perfect time. My husband will leave the house a half hour before.
It's kind of like coffee talk, SNL, like coffee talk,
Coffee.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Coffee.
Are you making fun of
me? Are you making fun
no,
of me?
No.
Like, because I grew up drinking coffee.
Coffee.
That's one of my favorite, like, SNL sketches, coffee talk. And when Madonna was there.
With Roseanne, when Barbara Streisand came on.
Yes. And they were just like, I don't like that Madonna, like, and my mom had to explain to me because she was laughing so hard at it. I'm like, why is this so funny? And because she's like, that's Madonna. That's a joke.
It's Madonna.
Like, she's making fun of herself.
People like Karen and I, we don't really hear our accent. You'll hear our coffee and you'll hear our hawk, and we talk. But you guys talk, is it? I don't know. It's hard to do your accent.
Talk.
Okay, can I show you just the pictures that I saved because I'm afraid they're going to go away?
Yeah.
Yes.
I did them again. I mean, it's really almost nothing, but I was still inspired. Well, I had cut out some pictures of people. You can't really see, but
you got to put it closer.
From
Can you move it up? Just there we go. Okay.
In Europe, like who I do my dance practice with.
Uh-huh.
And so in a fantasy, I'd cut up a bunch of them. So, and I'm afraid it's going to disappear again. But then
Oh,
I
there you
had,
go.
oh, see, that was up there. Yeah, that's them. But then I had, we can't really see with the colors. I didn't even like that picture, but the
Oh,
first way I put it, the colors just sort of matched, of like these two things. So my fantasy,
Oh,
I'll cut it out, I'll paste it in. I don't understand why in all of these programs it says, would you like to copy? And I go, yes. And then it goes, okay, we copied it. But how do you paste it? It
okay.
doesn't give me that option. So I guess I just have to learn more. But
Yeah, I guess, yeah, practice a little bit with it.
yeah,
Ooh.
well, I guess you can't really see how you can't really see the colors. Like it turns out the two things on each page were, this wasn't intentional, but they work together.
Yeah, they do. I would have thought it was intentional. Yeah,
Oh, I was just
those work
going
really nicely together.
like that. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
these two kind of work together.
Yeah, they do.
So I was just trying to,
Huh.
at least I wanted to recreate that because one day I will. Let's see.
And what program are you using? Is that
Well,
the
this
pen
was
up
just
or?
Note,
Oh, Note, okay.
just like Note. And then
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was kind of hilarious, to get to get that one in there.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a little stick figure. It's kind of, we had a stick figure class, like in the MS focus group.
But it was just, like a beginning thing of like, well, you can't really see the colors on the screen, but these colors also kind of work.
Yeah, there we go. I see. Yeah, I see the pattern in the background.
So, and how
They do work together.
I just, I can't be bummed because I had a good time and I didn't have to stress too hard, but it's like, I see the potential.
I do too, especially the way you put them together instinctively.
I,
Like you
I just went through the gallery and I went, I'll take that. I'll take
that
this.
one, that one.
And
I love that fox. That
there
is
were
so
just two that didn't kind of fit, so I didn't save it
Mm,
this time. But I'm gonna
okay.
save it in Samsung Note. But I did it before, and it just didn't work. And this one, yeah, I don't even remember what this one. It fit with something else, but yeah, it just
I think that fits together too. Yeah.
yeah. And then this
Um,
one, but
Is there such things as paint pens, guys?
my
Paint pens?
my fantasy. On
yes, Marcy, they do exist. Yeah. Is that what you're asking? If there's such a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
I mean, I may just have to sign in and figure out how to do it. And then on this one, it was just from the day, like from today. And then you were like, oh, I really like your turquoise one. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just cut out I'm gonna lasso the turquoise. It's just
Yeah, the one in the corner there.
a
That's
little
my
one.
favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's my favorite.
anyway, I'm inspired because my capacity to really make art is going away, physically.
Mm.
But if I can come up with collages and
Yeah, figure out how to do that. You have a lot to work with too. And Marcy, yes, acrylic paint pens, like you can buy those. I have like a set right here if you want to see like the brand.
Yeah, because then I like some things because of the way I shake, you can't get a good line. And I was thinking if I had a paint pen or a paint like pencil, I think I could do a lot better. Like with the fireworks, that was so
Mhm.
difficult to try.
Oh, yeah, with the fireworks. Actually, yeah, the paint pens would work really well with that. Really anything you'd want to get a line on, like the stars too, you could definitely do use a paint pen with trying to do the stars too. So let me show you. Let me
So
show
I'm
you real
gonna
quick.
redo the fireworks. I mean, I haven't given up yet, but you know, I'm gonna try again.
With these, like you do have to shake them, so that's the my biggest issue with them is like shaking them.
Enlarge the picture. There you go.
Yeah, I'm trying to, because when you first use them and anytime afterwards. You have to like shake it in order to get the ink to flow through.
Oh yeah, the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just annoying. I don't like doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can invest in them because there's a lot of stuff I don't do lately because of the shaking.
Yeah, you might like these.
Well, that's, I'm using my left hand.
Amazing, Karen. That's amazing. I don't think I could do it.
Well, you can't. The reason probably why I can do it is because I never made art with my right dominant hand. So I don't really have that editor that says, well, that looks crappy, because I would never try to make art. And
I think you do a good job.
it
Today
just
I'm happy with my piece. I'm calling it The Dream.
The Dream.
okay,
The
let's
good
do
one.
this piece because you always make it better.
There.
This one was easy, even though cutting out is not too easy. It's a good practice. It's,
Oh yeah,
it's something
practice.
you should do, even though it's hard to do
Well,
because you stop doing it.
let's see your final one.
You didn't see my final?
No, because you added black holes and
Oh, all right. Hold on.
Oh yeah, we gotta see your black
Gotta
holes.
see it.
Okay, let me see how I can do this now. You can see it on my side. Hold on, I'm learning this new system on the Zoom has a new system. So let's see.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I love the stars.
Well,
I don't think I see the black holes though.
let me see if you can see the black hole is shining. Like if I
Okay, it's shining. There we go.
kind of
hold
shine.
it up so I can see the whole thing. I'm gonna take a picture.
Okay, I see the other one. Oh, you have two at the bottom. I see those two.
I love all the little subtleties that come.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Same.
Let's see if you can see the black hole. Oh, there you go. See the black hole?
Yeah, there it is.
There's black holes there.
I love that it's so subtle though.
Well, if you see it in person, you can it shows up more, the black hole, but like that it doesn't show up too well. Salute. God bless you.
So let me show you real quick just how the acrylic paint marker works.
Yeah.
So just kind of, I finally got it to work. I say that and then it just doesn't want to do the thing. See, that's the only thing I don't like about paint markers is that sometimes you have to fight with them. I swear it was working a second ago. That's how I did that.
Well, on one of my paintings, I couldn't get a good line, so I used a gel pen for whiskers.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Or
Gel pens.
I don't know if you remember my squirrel. I did a squirrel. I don't know if Alexa saw my squirrel.
Well,
I want to see the squirrel.
Now I used the gel pen for his whiskers. I don't know if you could see the whiskers. Let me see. Can you see the squirrel? Can you see his whiskers?
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
look at
wow.
this
really? Wow, that's so good.
I couldn't do the whiskers.
He looks so real.
I know. That's so
Claws.
good, Marcy. I know the claws.
That's
Yeah, look.
amazing. Oh my God.
I had him
Were
scratching
you
the wood. You see
were
how
you
I
looking at a picture when you did that, or is that just straight out of your brain?
Wow, Marcy.
And then I did spoons, and then I did like
Ooh.
this little guy with the. Yeah, I don't think I've
Cute.
seen my work.
Man.
I don't know if she saw my Mount Fuji. Let me see.
I think you showed me the Mount Fuji.
I mean, Alexa. I don't know if
Maybe.
Alexa saw my
Oh,
Mount.
okay.
Oh wow, the
Yeah.
crane.
That's Mount Fuji because the bird of Japan is that crane,
Yes.
and then the Japanese sun, and then Mount Fuji in the background.
Man, it's so pretty.
So I have to get back into it because I haven't done any art in a while.
Yeah.
It's been like a month or two. I haven't done anything because I have to get over the vertigo I was having really bad, and then I was having the shaking. I got to get over it. Once I get over it, I'll try again.
So would anyone else like to share? No? Okay. So we will be having our class. We might be having another open art night soon. So I'll
Yay.
talk to Hannah about that.
Yeah.
So we will let you know if we get one on the schedule for February. And thank you for letting us know you'd like another one. And
So is there no solo arts heal this one?
no, there is. There's just been a change, and I have to let Hannah know about that.
Okay.
I've just got to talk to her about that. And that was just it.
It's on my
And
calendar. So do I keep it on my calendar, or do I?
Yeah, you can still keep. Yes, there will still be a show, and you'll still want to watch it. And then we will have our art class the same. I think Hannah, I don't think we have to reschedule or anything.
No, yeah,
Nope, so
everything's
we're
the same.
good.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're good.
perfect. So don't have any puppers, I don't think.
No, no animals in here.
Pull mine out from underneath me.
Thank you, Karen. Karen is being our pupper. So I will close this out. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us tonight, and thank you to everyone in the recording. We really, really appreciate you. And we got okay. Wait a minute,
There
we got
we
a pupper.
go.
Sorry, we got
It's
a
a
pupper. Everybody,
baby.
hello, baby. Thank you. So yes, take us out, pupper. Good night, everybody, and thank you
Thank you,
so
Hannah. Thank you.
much.
Good
Good night,
night. Good night,
guys.
everybody.